Mahoney is back tonight. We're talking about what happens if you don't have a will, right?
Yes, so public service announcement today, okay? So everybody, I feel like I should do a Ron Burgundy. I have a very important announcement. If you do not have your will and your documents together in case something happens to you, please take this opportunity to stop and actually do that. Because, you know, when people end up in my office, it's because something really bad happened, right? So once or twice a month, I have the opportunity to get to help a family who loses a family member suddenly in various different ways. And now if you're young and you're single and you don't have a will, okay, not the end of the world, all right? And you don't have your stuff set. But if you have a child, if you have a significant other, in particular, you know, if your significant other you're not married, okay? Or if you have a child, but the child is out of wedlock, you need to have a will in order to take care of this stuff. Because here's some of the basics that you need to understand. One of the misconceptions is if you die without a will, your money all goes to the state. You know, I hear that all the time. Well, doesn't your money go to the state? Well, no. If you die without a will, your money goes into what's called intestate succession. We speak Latin, so nobody knows what the heck we're talking about. It's just this long statute that says if you die without a will, then the money's going to go to these various people. It goes to kids, then it goes to parents, and it can go to a spouse. And if you don't have kids, then spouse and parents. If you don't have parents, then it goes to brothers and sisters. If you don't have brothers and sisters, then it goes to their kids. And if you don't have those, then it goes up to parents. So you'd have to really not have any heirs in order for the money to go to the state, and it would take a long while for that to happen. The problem is this. If you die without a will and you're not married, but you have a significant other, that person's not going to get anything because they're not married to you and they're not blood. If you die without a will and you have children, but they were not out of wedlock, then there's no presumption that they're your kids. And even if your name is on the birth certificate, that doesn't necessarily do it. Now, that's a problem that you can get around. But here's the bottom line. If you die without a will, lawyers get to make a lot more money, like a lot more money, because you're leaving a whole bunch of work for the lawyers that they don't have to do if you just have a will. You can also do a couple of other things in order to guarantee that this stuff goes a lot smoother. So like, let's talk about your estate. So you pass away, everything that's in your name is in your estate. But the court only deals with the portions of your estate that it has to transfer title to. So let's say you pass away and you've got a car that's in your name. Okay, the court's going to have to deal with the car transferring the title to that car. But if you have a piece of property and it's in joint tenancy, you and I have a piece of property that we own in joint tenancy, that now is automatically yours because joint tenancy means that each of us owns the whole. So that would automatically go to you. So if you have a house and you're married, most of the time then that's going to be in joint tenancy or tenancy by the entirety, which is joint tenancy, but you're married, the same thing. That happens automatically, okay? Now you can also have bank accounts pass without them having to go through the court, so the court doesn't have to deal with the estate. So let's say you have a 401k or an IRA, or you have an investment account. That investment account can be payable on death, POD. And it can be payable on death to anybody. So it can be payable on death to your kids. That operates outside of the estate. Creditors don't get at that. The kids show up with a death certificate and it automatically goes there and it gets taken care of. So let's say that you're married, but your child is not with the person that you're married to. Okay, well, you're going to want to have a will to make sure things go to who they're supposed to go. And another thing that you could do is you could have life insurance. Nobody has life insurance anymore. I'm the only one around who has life insurance. You can have life insurance, or I can have accounts that are payable on death to my child. So if a truck runs a stop sign and smashes me on the way home from this, all she has to do, well, these things happen.
Just making sure.
All she has to do is send them a death certificate and they send her checks. And she doesn't have to deal with my current wife. She doesn't have to deal with the estate. She doesn't have to deal with any of that stuff. It just all goes to her. This is your legacy, folks. If you've got a lot of people in your life who depend upon you and you're the breadwinner and you don't have this stuff set up and something happens to you, their memory of you is going to be that you didn't have stuff set up and you left them with a big problem.
Yeah.
Don't leave them with a big problem. Take the time. It doesn't take a lot of money. It doesn't take a lot of effort. Call somebody up. Don't call me. Call somebody else who does this stuff. but get your will in order and get this stuff in order. Do it now. Everybody puts this off. You know when they do it? They do it when they're going to fly over oceans. That's when they call us up. Oh, I'm going to Hawaii. You know, as if that's somehow less safe.
Yeah.
Please get it done.
Okay, well, I like that, and I don't think I've ever heard you say, don't call me. You can call him for other things, though. Always, you can get a hold of Tim Mahoney. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us.
My pleasure.
We are taking you to Prairie View Golf Club in just a minute. We'll be right back.